Wife wants to back out of the divorce she filed. Not sure if it's worth giving a second shot. My 37M wife, 34F, wants to back out of the divorce she filed. Not sure what to do. My wife of 12 years decided to divorce me earlier this year. We did marriage counseling and just about everything else you can do to save the marriage. I love my wife, but she apparently fell out of love 3 years ago according to her. We separated in March of this year. The separation was recommended by the marriage counselor after everything else failed. It was supposed to, I guess, show us our marriage from different angle by being separated. I ended up moving out of the house, and quite honestly I was much happier living by myself. I told my wife that I wouldn't file for divorce, and if she wanted to go down that route she can file. In May she finally filed for divorce. Honestly, I completely expected it coming after the separation experiment. I was hoping for a simple divorce like we talked about before we separated. We don't have a prenup in place since we basically both didn't have that much when we got married. They always say it doesn't matter how much you love or have mutual respect for your spouse, because during a divorce there are no limits. She initially wanted the house, her car, full custody of our daughters, $4,000 a month in CS, and a 6-figure alimony. My wife doesn't work since she's a full-time stay-at-home mom. I was never going to leave her without anything, but it sort of hurt me that she would try to get all those things knowing well that I would have barely anything left afterwards. Anyways, the lawyers have been negotiating for some time and I haven't had much contact with my wife unless it's about the girls. Last night my wife called me asking me if I would go to dinner, because she wanted to talk. I accepted and we met for dinner at a restaurant. She expressed that she wanted to give our marriage another try. Her reasoning was that she was in a dark place before, and now she understands that she was the problem. She took 100% responsibility for our problems, which is very out of character for her. Ever since I've known her she doesn't apologize like ever. She also said that our daughters missed us living together, which I guess is true. After dinner she wanted to come back to my place, but I told her it wasn't a good idea. I told her that I would have to think about it. She started crying and begging me to come back. Eventually she calmed down and we went our separate ways. A few months ago I would have agreed to trying again without hesitation, but after the divorce process I'm not so sure anymore. The other thing is I know she's been on dates since our separation. She told one of our mutual friends who told her husband who told me. I personally haven't dated anyone because our divorce hasn't been finalized. Also, I'm enjoying living single with just my daughters. Ideally I would like to save this marriage for the sake of my daughters and the love for my wife, but at the same time I don't want to try again just to waste time ending up in our current situation again. My daughters prefer staying with me over their mom. I've never said anything negative about their mom to my daughters, and I try to leave them out of it completely. If you've had any experiences in trying to make your marriage work again for round 2, was it positive or negative? Is it worth revisiting, or do I just cut my losses and move on? Update. I'm going to be honest, before posting this I was seriously considering to make things work with her again, but after reading all the comments I'm leaning towards walking away and continuing with the divorce proceedings. I just don't see it working, especially after what she wanted initially. I can look past wanting the house, money, or both of our cars, but wanting full custody of my daughter is what still messes with me. The last 3 years she's checked out of our marriage and being a parent. I drop my daughters off at school, pick them up and take them to their sports and extracurricular activities. I know she sees a therapist, but she's changed a lot. The woman from the past 3 years is not the woman I married. I'm not sure what's caused all this, and if she's sick I wouldn't mind helping her get better. A lot of people want to know what she said last night. We had a normal conversation over dinner. She asked me how I'd been, and how work was going. She just made regular small talk in the restaurant. I asked what the actual purpose of this dinner was, and she said that she missed me. That's when she started to get really emotional. We went outside to her car and that's when the apology came about how she was sorry for ruining our marriage. She said she had been in a dark place, but she didn't elaborate on that. I felt like she wanted to say a lot more, but the tears got in the way. We sat in that car for at least 1 hour. I'll be honest, I did hold her to comfort her, and there still was love there. I don't know what it was that kept me from spending the night with her. I thought about all night, and the feeling was that my wife/mother of my children needed me, but instead I abandoned her. I have no proof or signs she cheated before the separation. I could also just be clueless, because I don't really have the personality to question her and be suspicious. I don't know who she's been with since the separation, or how far their relationship even went. A lot of y'all said she might be pregnant, which is interesting, because my close friend who I'm staying with also said that. I don't know and don't want to jump to any conclusions. The last 3 years of our marriage we had sex 4 times. I don't know what her true intentions were last night, but I learned today from my daughter that my wife arranged for her sister to watch them for the night. I don't know what all that was about. I truly do love this woman even after all of this. 15 years together and being married for 12 is a long time. We were together when we were both broke college kids. We suffered 2 miscarriages, but somehow stayed strong and made it past that. Even if this is the end of our marriage, I don't regret any of it. I got 2 beautiful daughters out of this marriage. My thoughts are all over the place. Thanks everyone.